Good afternoon, YouTube. Back with another one, and I have good news. I've managed to potentially launch another side hustle. Recently been talking with one of my friends from the village who's recently got into boxing, and I also have an interest in those sort of sports. I've trained in kickboxing mostly, but I've had boxing matches, and I've trained in MMA as well. And he asked me to go film him training last night so that he could upload it to his social media. And going forward, he wants me to film his next fight and hopefully work alongside him in his boxing promotion to be able to film many upcoming fights and get other work in that related field, which would be great. It's nice to feel wanted, I suppose, and have skills that are desirable. Yeah, it's really, sort of pushing me as well, rather than just tell me something to leave me to it. A few other ideas. So he wants to go around the country, go to boxing gyms and sort of review them. Along with him and be the cameraman, potentially editor as well. So yeah, it's a positive step in the right direction of Shaolin Monks Productions. Shaolin was my fight name when I was boxing. Shaolin Monks. So it's kind of a bit of synergy, I suppose. Fits with the fighting theme still. And it's a nice positive sort of thing that we've got, I think. Obviously things won't be easy on supposedly hurdles. Who knows, might be competitors trying to take me out, I suppose, who knows. Maybe it's not quite that bad with the media people. Obviously it's a bit of a weird sport, and how much corruption and backstabbing there is. Hopefully it won't apply to me, just holding cameras and filming. It'll be nice to get out. I like going to boxing events, and I like to try and wear a suit if I can. Be presentable, feel nice when you've got a suit on. I've always said that a suit is a man's version of lingerie. It's when we're sexiest. It's great to also a podcast idea, which I'll try and make happen. Just a podcast idea as well. So see how I manage to juggle these things. But I am going to try and take people up on these offers and try and make things work. Because I'm of the opinion that things like this are divine. God has given me opportunities to improve my life, because He knows I'm destined for something greater. And I make sure I mention and reference God with this, because when you're Christian, you're meant to be in service of God and helping to spread the message. And while I'm never going to proselytize to people, I'm not going to shame people and tell them they need to come to Jesus and all that kind of stuff. I still think it's important to acknowledge when God is working in my favour and has my best intentions in mind, but you can't just take from the relationship, you must give back. So that's why I mention it in the video, because the more you talk about religion, I suppose, and Christianity, the more people warm up to it. But I realise some people are atheists watching this, so I'll not bang on the drum too much about that. I suppose it's a gently approach, and many times it's when we come into hardship in our lives that we are more susceptible to it, and I think that's where maybe critics of religion find an issue with that. People have to come to hardship to come to God a lot of the time. But it is what it is. So yeah, and who knows if this keeps working forward and we're both working together a lot. I've told him that he can be my producer for my film idea once I fully get it written out. You know, with this film idea, I will be the director and writer, obviously, because that's what Sylvester Stallone said, is that you need to, you know, if you're going to write a story, you need to be attached to it in some way. Same with Christopher Nolan. As far as I'm aware, I might be wrong with this, but Christopher Nolan wrote Memento. I think the studios wanted to buy the script, but they didn't really want him, but he remained firm that he was directing his story. He was the captain of the ship. And same with Stallone. I mean, Stallone wasn't the director of Rocky, but he was obviously the star. And that's how both of those broke into the film industry. Obviously, I'm getting on a bit now, so if I ever break in, I won't be creating a legacy of films in quite the same way that those two individuals have. But it's still an area I'm interested in, and I've worked on this sort of film idea in the background for quite a while. Maybe just took this up and committed it all down in prose. I actually wrote the story, but I have the general outline of the story and which films I've enjoyed inspiration from in terms of story, and then films in terms of cinematography, action, things like that. So yeah, it's things moving forward. I'm going up to have a look at a job tomorrow to get employed again. So I've had many weeks not being employed now. It's starting to grate on me. But yeah, there's very many opportunities to work on YouTube, research things, become more educated. It's the same thing. I'm feeling rather happy at the minute. I know that life is a roller coaster, though, to quote Ronan Keating. But we'll keep plodding forward. And today, actually, I've had somebody add me on Facebook and give me a link to help learn Cornish, because I have Cornish ancestry. I am a Yorkshireman first and foremost, but I'm still proud to be of Cornish descent as well. And he's given me a link so I can start trying to learn Cornish now, which will be nice. At some point, maybe I need to focus on one of these languages and get really, really good and fluent at it. But at the minute, I suppose me just applying myself each day to learn parts of a language is still better than not doing it at all. I just kind of wish I could confidently say I'm fluent in a language, whereas I'm not, other than English, obviously. I mean, I can speak German in Cebuano to some basic degree. Getting the grips of Latin and Greek. But I kind of want to maybe knuckle down at some point and really get to one. But it's hard for this year. I've not been working a lot, so I haven't been able to afford lessons. You only really fully get the language once you're speaking it to somebody else who's speaking that language and speaking it back to you. Conversation practice, as I should really be calling it. And I haven't really been able to afford that. The £8 or so, it's not expensive. That's money for food. So I'll probably go back to my teacher, Maestra Luna, to learn Cebuano as soon as possible, because that's the one I've really been hitting the most out of them all. But German as well. I don't know. I spent a couple of years learning German through Duolingo, YouTube videos, books. I've got a textbook at home and a dictionary. So I don't know. The video's not very structured. These are all just like a cacophony of thoughts going through my head. Talk about me rather than the politics like some of my other videos. But essentially, this channel is always meant to be a blog. Well, the talking about politics, etc., is relevant to my life still. But I should really be committing that to the other YouTube channel that I've developed prior to this one. So as I've said in the past, this channel was ideally meant to be one for my trip to the Philippines, but I cancelled my trip to the Philippines earlier this year because it was going to be financially untenable, and it kind of worked out because they've had multiple earthquakes, several typhoons where hundreds of people have died as well. They had the civil unrest where they were waving the One Piece flags. So yeah, it's certainly interesting. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm maybe rambling at the end of the video. Like I said, this wasn't one where I had like a sort of through line what I was going to talk about. I knew I was going to mention the amount of days it's slippy in this field. I was going to mention the new boxing the video production sort of business. And I suppose I'll just end one last thing, and I will say, I see a lot of people whine about British weather, right? That the weather's always bad, and you'll see from my YouTube videos, and I pretty much upload one every day at the minute. Like at least 75% of the time in my videos, it's sunny. I mean, I am in Yorkshire, which is called God's County. We have a lot less rain and clouds than like the southeast, like areas like Cornwall, Wales, Birmingham. The Black Country as it's called. But we are, after Ireland, we are the second most cloudy country in the world. But not every country is uniform everywhere. Australia is a lot bigger, obviously, but in the north it's tropical, and then there's like desert, obviously. America is the same. You've got like subtropical with Florida and Georgia. They also have deserts, and then up in the north it's like snow and winter. So I think whinging about a country's weather is a bit stupid, because weather's not uniform everywhere. So if you're one of these people that is saying that Britain's got bad weather, I think you're just a bit stupid, to be honest. And my videos prove you wrong. So most of my videos that I upload every day, more or less, are always sunny. Not always. There's one I went out the other day and I filmed with an umbrella. But yeah, it's certainly not as bad as people make out. Personally, if I was like to live in Spain, or like in Central Australia, I would think it was hell. It's like the concept of living in the Philippines all the time. If I was like to retire there and stay there, I would consider that to be a form of hell. Quite dry. The temperatures don't vary that much. I can't remember which way around it is, but dry season it's like 42 degrees, and then the wet season it's like the lowest it'll ever go in is like 25 degrees. That's nothing. In the UK, we get like high 30s, maybe up to 40 on a really, really super hot day, and then down to -10. We get this super variation, which is far more interesting. So yeah, I kind of think if you complain about British weather, you're a bit of a clown. But that's it for this video anyway. We'll leave it here. I'm going to go back, probably talk to my colleague about his podcast idea, probably try and thrash out exactly how he envisages that happening, where we'll film it. And yeah, see you in the next one anyway. Toodaloo.